Meeting. I'm Ed Abbott, Chairman of the Elections Committee. On behalf of the committee, I would like to welcome you to this candidate information forum and thank you for your willingness to consider running for the board of directors of the association. During this forum, we will provide you with the details relating to running for the board, the duties and responsibilities of being a board member, and the election schedule. For this election, running for the board presents unique challenges due to the COVID pandemic. The committee and the staff have addressed these concerns. During this forum, the staff will present how they can be addressed. However, please keep in mind that the association is limited by law and resources as to what it can provide for candidate assistance. Ultimately, each candidate is responsible for their own safety and the safety of those who they have contact with during while campaigning. Thank you. But before I turn it over to Shalise, I think we should, since it's a small enough group, just go around and introduce one another or introduce yourselves. We got 2 members of the elections committee here, and it looks like 3 candidates. Lloyd, why don't you start?
Okay, still muted. I'll go ahead and start. I'm Mike Martin, and I'm a member of the committee, being, just to let you all know, have been for a couple of years now.
Okay. And so is Lloyd. So, Timothy?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Tim Dowling. I'm a 40-year Reston resident, and I live on Paddock Lane in the Hunters Woods district.
Okay. Sarah?
Hi, if I can unmute myself. Hi, I'm Sarah D'Souza, and I'm on a 1-year term on the board, so I'm up for re-election.
And Vince?
Hello, everyone. My name is Vince Dory. I'm a resident of the Lake Ann area. I'm just across from the street, and I'm going to be running as a candidate for one of the at-large positions. Thank you.
Okay. Shalise, it's your show now.
I want to thank you all for attending and for your patience. I will be giving you my email address, and I ask that you email the election committee at electionscommittee@reston.org. That way I can receive your information and email you a package of information with the calendar, candidate petitions, and all of the information that you'll need to actually run for the board. Okay. When I reply back to you, I'm just going to ask you for to verify your email, your home address, which position that you would like to run for, or any information that will help me assist you to make sure that you have everything you need to run for the board. Okay. Any questions you may have, you can also email electionscommittee@reston.org, or you can email me personally at Shalise, CHALISE@reston.org, CHALISE@reston.org, or the elections committee. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with just going through slides, and it's going to give you a brief overview of everything from the board. Okay, and looks like we have a question. Thank you, Vince, for doing that. And I'm just going to screen here. We're going to head to the next slide. So we've already done our introductions, and as we go through the slide, it's going to speak about the board member duties and responsibilities, also the elections materials, and where you can find all of that information on our website. Then we'll have a question and answer period. As you know, And also in your packet, I'll include this map so you can look at everything up close and personal. Reston is broken into 4 distinct districts, and then we also have a category B apartment owners seat that isn't available this year, but I want to explain all of our seats. In order to actually run for one of the districts, you have to live in that district. And so I'm just going to read over the first half of the slide for you. There's a 9-member board. 8 of the directors, again, are category A and C, which mean they're homeowners and tenants, and they have to reside in that district or be in an at-large seat. Then we also have the category B member, which is the apartment owner's representative. The thing that makes that apartment owner's representative different is they can live in any district, or they can actually be the voting representative for one of the apartment here under the Reston deed. We have 3 seats that will be opening in the spring. All 3 seats are 3-year terms. We have 2 at-large seats and 1 South Lakes district seat. Again, in order to run for that South Lakes district director seat, you have to live in that South Lakes district. Okay. And this is the note that Ed spoke about a little earlier when we kicked off the meeting. And it's just some recommendations as you campaign, because things are different now with COVID-19, and we want to make sure that everyone is campaigning safely and they're following the governor's guidelines. And so if you want to just look over those, this will also be available on the Reston website, or if you would like this emailed directly to you, I can also email it directly to you. That way you can take your time and look it over. Some important things is whenever possible, if you can use electronic communication and things like that, that would be best. The other thing that you may not know is for our candidate petitions for signatures, we are allowing you, and you are allowed, I should say, to use DocuSign for those signatures, or you can actually scan in the signatures and attach them to your petition when it's submitted. Meaning, I know my neighbors and I text them and say, hey, could you, email me a copy of your signature, and it's going to be the same as it is on the form, meaning it's going to have to be their address and a printed name and an actual signature, and it's just one person per physical address and household, and they have to be a Reston Association member, or if you're running for South Lakes district seat, they would have to live in that South Lakes district. Some of the board duties and responsibilities, we have roughly 106. That kind of fluctuates. We had a few retirements here very recently, as of last month here. In a typical case that's a non-COVID year, we have roughly 300 seasonal employees that work for Reston Association, from pools and tennis courts and different things like that. You are not required to raise money or do anything in that nature. The association does have a separate 501c3 for that, which is the Friends of Reston. And if you've lived here long enough, I'm sure you've heard of all the projects that they're involved in around here. So board duties and responsibilities. They determine the long-range mission and goals, establishes RA policy and procedures, hires and evaluates the CEO, monitors finances, approves budgets, and sets the assessment. The assessment was set for $718 this year. And it also approves programs and capital spending. Okay. As a board member, you are required to attend board meetings. We do have some special events. Special event would be maybe a lake house meet and greet. We have other things in the community as far as Christmas parties. They have the parade and different things like that. We haven't really, since I've worked for Reston Association, we haven't really had any board retreats at all. And then as a board member, you will serve on different committees. And so that's a definite responsibility. And then you'll also have different meet and greets throughout the community and bring that feedback to our CEO. Okay. And the board appoints officers to fill 4 positions: the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. The treasurer and secretary do not have to be part of the board or a voting member. I know in the past, when I first started working for Reston Association, I was there to see that there was a non-board member in those positions. Okay, and then it goes on to say the board hires the CEO and who oversees the association with no voting authority. Okay, and so these are different committees that are part of Reston Association. And elections committee is what you see here. We have the board operations committee, board governors committee, fiscal, and legal. Then we have our advisory committees. The advisory committees are not only board members, but they also have members on the community, from the community, that are also part of those committees as well. And then we have a covenants and design review board. And the design review board is the only one that is able to administer and render decisions involving design covenants and guidelines as provided in the Reston Deed and Association bylaws. Now the time commitment, it can vary. This right here is a minimum time commitment, but the more you're involved in your committee and the more you're going through the information for board meetings and attending outside meetings and things like that to prepare for board meetings, this time commitment may go up. The regular board meetings are usually held the 4th Thursday of the month at 6:30 p.m. This right here is kind of a very brief synopsis, and I'll give you guys a full calendar later on. I'll email you guys a package, as I stated, of just some upcoming things that are very close on the horizons, that if you're running for a board seat, you might want to take note of and jot it down. So I'll just give you a second if you're writing that down. Okay. So here we go to validating candidacy forms. So what will happen is you'll file for the petition of candidacy. We'll go through all of those petitions of candidacy, looking at the 25 households and making sure they're actually on a Reston Association deeded property, and they're eligible to vote in whatever district, or if you're at large, whatever area that you may be running for. They all must be signed and assigned with everything that I'll need to be able to contact you and to verify the information there on your forms. And then again, to actually be part of the board, you would have to live in a resident association property, have a pay for assessment at the time of filing, and have no outstanding violation or anything from covenants or in the way of violation in order to have a complete candidacy packet. And I always suggest, it says 25, but I always suggest that you go over that 25 just in case one of the signatures can't be read, or the property is actually not a resident deeded property. If there's some kind of violation or anything and such, it's always best to go over the 25. And now we're going to where you can find information. For a long time, we've had the same website, but the website has been updated because it's going through a transition right now while we update that website. And so I just placed a few things here from the updated website. So when you go to reston.org, if you just hover over, and this is from my actual laptop. I didn't go and post anything if you're going on your phone to actually do the mobile version. But from the last time I was there, they just had some little bars on the side. So you will hover over RA, and then you would click on Board of Directors there. When you click on Board of Directors, is just going to give you some general information. It will also list all of the board directors there and their districts, and have an email address for them. You can also go on to the bottom of the page for minutes, agendas, recordings of video recordings of previous board meetings are there as well. And this part is important because you're running where to find election information. And again, instead of, you'll go to reston.org, and instead of hitting Board of Directors, you're going to actually hit that board election. And all of the information will be there for you. It will give you a brief description. It will tell you deadlines. And not only that, if you go to the bottom of the page and press click here, it literally says click here. It will take you to our Dropbox that have all of our forms there for you to get, and all of the election resolutions as well. This here is management and finance. I know a lot of people that are running are interested in this because they want to know how the money is being distributed and how all of the budget is working. That way they can answer questions if they're asked by people that they want signatures from or to vote for them. And all of the information is right there for you. And again, you would just click the management and finance tab. About RA, management and finance is where you will go for that. And the budget reports and financial statements are there. Okay. So this is our management team and overview. On our website, you have direct access to email members of our leadership team. You can always call 703-435-6530 if you would like to be transferred or leave a message. But if you have questions or you would like to ask questions, the information is there for you. And that's a quick overview. And online at reston.org, again, I gave you the elections committee at reston.org email address for any questions that you may have regarding running, or you can also email me directly. When you email me directly, again, I'm going to ask for those important things that I said before, verifying your email address, your home address, and things like that. And then I will send you back a packet of information that will contain the things that you would need to get started running for the election. Once you are certified and you are running for a seat on the board, all questions should be directed to electionscommittee@reston.org, because if you're asking a question, we're mandated to share it with all of those that are running. So if you have a question regarding a process, or can you do this or can you do that, please email it to electionscommittee@reston.org. If you just want to email over a petition or all of your candidacy forms, you can email those directly to me. But for general questions, please email electionscommittee@reston.org. And again, remember, when you're submitting those petitions and those forms with signatures, you're welcome to use DocuSign, and you're welcome to actually attach scanned signatures to your actual petition. You don't have to have someone signing on the same form again and again, especially if you have neighbors or a different way that you can retrieve signatures. As long as when they sign, they have that important information stating their first, they have to print a signature, home address, and all of that is listed there in the petition for you. And you can only use one person per physical address. Are there any questions?
I have a very brief question.
Yes.
So I just want to be clear, gathering signatures the old fashioned way with like pen and paper is still okay? Like, cause I have I have a roommate, and so I imagine that there's not a lot of COVID risk there, and he wants to give me a signature, so.
Yes. So gathering signatures the old fashioned way is perfectly acceptable, but we wanted to give you options to minimize that risk.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Well,
Yeah.
I guess oh, sorry, go ahead.
Shelley, can you email this the presentation to us also?
Oh, yes, I can 100% do that. When you email me your information, I can add that to the packet of information that I'll send back. So I'll send this as well. I'll attach that. I'm writing it down now, so I'll remember.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I got another brief question. So in the form for the candidacy, for example, one of the things it asks is describe your activities in the community of Reston. Oh, there's a bunch of different questions like that. Which one of those questions are going to be like public? Are all those going to be public, or is some just more for internal committees?
Yes. So everything that you write on that candidacy statement and on your petition, except for minor things for security, everything is made public. So when you write, I'm involved in Boy Scouts of America, I volunteer at the Nature Center, different things like that. I work at South Lakes, and I'm really interested in the South Lakes district because I live here, I work at the school, different things like that. That's all going to be made public.
Okay, cool. I figured that. I just wanted to get clarification is all. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? And I will ask one more question. For those that are not already on the board, if you could give me your first and last name and which seat you're running for. So when I receive the email, I'll remember you guys, because I'll have the information written down. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Tim Dowling, Dowling, and I'm running for an at-large seat.
Okay.
All right, I'll go next. My name is Vincent Dory. I am also running for one of the at-large seats.
Vince, could you spell your last name for me?
Dory.
Oh, I think I remember you from another meeting, Vince.
Yeah, I did stop in at one of the earlier election committees meetings just to get some early information like that.
Yeah, I remember. And I see someone, it says Beth iPhone. Did you want to share, Beth, or you're just here? Just okay.
I'm here. Sorry, giving my little kids a bath, so trying to multitask here. Yeah, I am interested. I have to say, kind of in the initial stages, I haven't done a whole lot of research, but I was asked to attend this just to gain a little bit more information, and I apologize for being incredibly late. So that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not asking any questions, because I don't want to ask anything that's already been covered. I'll do my due diligence and research. But it would be for an at-large position, and my last name is Rinker, Rinker.
And what I'll do is I gave out my email address, Beth, and it's actually in the chat. I don't know if you can see that, but I can also tell it to you, or if you emailed at elections committee at reston.org, if you did not receive it, I'll email you back with a copy of this presentation and all the things that you need.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to do. So thank you for that. I'll just email that election committee email.
Okay. Well, unless someone else has something else, I think we're finished, and that's it.
Shalise, one thing,
Yes.
Since Beth came in a little bit later in the session, this is also on our YouTube channel. We're live streaming right now. So once this meeting ends, you could actually go back and also watch the video.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I realized a little bit too late that I was intending to join this and oversight. So thank you for that, Sean.
My pleasure.
Any closing remarks, Shalise, or are we done?
I will leave that to you and our chair of the elections committee.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming, and again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask Shalise. She's very, very, very knowledgeable in all of this, and she'll be able to answer your questions. And if she doesn't have an answer for you directly, she'll find out for you. So good luck, and I'm glad you're running, and I guess that's the end. Nothing more to say.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Good night.